everybody, and welcome to today's video. $5 and 5 ways you can save $5, and then I have a bonus money saving ideas at the end of this video. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you one way I save a lot of money, and that is, let's see. We have all of these vegetables. These were wrinkly potatoes, wrinkly sweet potatoes, wrinkly carrots, and I soaked them in water overnight. And now they're nice and they're crunchy looking, and we are going to make an assortment of freezer French fries. We're going to cut these up, then I'm going to blanch them, and then I'm going to put them in the freezer. This food here, a lot of people would throw away simply because they were wilted. Cut out all the bad parts, and I'm saving well over $5 to do this. So let's go ahead and let's chop these up. This is my ultimate favorite product. I'm a gadget girl. I love gadgets, but let me tell you what, I love making my French fries, and I use this. It is so amazing. So it's a wedger, and let me show you. Now this is how I save lots of money, because I'm going to be making my own French fries. Now these are sweet potatoes, so I'm going to make sweet potato French fries. I'm going to make regular ones and even carrot French fries. And it slices so simple and easy, and it cuts them in the French fry wedges. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this and chop them all up. So let's go ahead, let's try a carrot. I'm going to do so I'm going to have it like a medley. All right, so another way that I save $5 is easy. So I needed a few things, and instead of going on Amazon and spending a lot of money, I wrote down my list and I went to the thrift store. The one thing I needed was a cloth bag. I spent 75 cents on this. Now, of course, it would have cost me a lot more than that at Amazon. But, so what I like to do is, if there's something I need, the first thing I do is I write it down on a list. And if I go to the thrift store, I will check there first. And I keep a running list. Then I will go to the Dollar Tree if I have to. But, so here, let me show you what I did. I spent $8. Now I did spend money, but I'm saving tons of money by doing this. 25 cents, I got the floss because I am doing embroidery myself. I am doing a lot of sewing. And I got the bag for my sewing, and then I got my needles for 99 cents. So that was cheap. That was in a brand new, and I saved lots of money by doing that. Buying material like this. So material is really expensive, and I paid $1.25 for only, and it's a half a yard. So it's a half a yard of this material for $1.25, which really saved me a lot of money. So going to the thrift store saves a lot of money. You can easily save $5, $10, $20 by going there first and seeing if you can find it used. Not only is it great for the environment because you're actually reusing something that's recycled, it also saves you a lot of money. So we are going ahead and we have water boiling. I will put all of those vegetables in the water and we will parboil them for 3 to 5 minutes. Then we will pat them dry and we will bag them up, and I can store them in my freezer. And then that is using food that other people would normally throw away because the potatoes were so wrinkly. So here was my list. Material and a bag and rickrack. I couldn't find any rickrack. That is a kind of ribbon, I guess you could say. But I did get all of this. And I spent a lot less than I would if I would have went on Amazon and ordered it through there. That's one way I save a lot of money. And so we're saving 5 things that makes us save $5 or more. And the other thing for me is books. Even on thrift books, you're still paying a lot of money for books. I mean, $5 and $1 shipping, $6 here and $6 there. That's frugal, but not as frugal as waiting to get to the thrift store. For $2, I got this book, and that's the only way I get books now on, is if I find it at the thrift store. If there's a book that I want, I'm just going to write it down, keep a running list, and eventually maybe I will find it at the thrift store. So this saves me lots of money, and it's fun to go to the thrift store because we're always going to the bank or somewhere in that same location. Another way to save a lot of money is don't go on special errands. Make sure you put everything all at one time and have it in the path of your driving, so you're not ever driving out of the way. And that's how I can save a lot of money, is our discount grocery store. Our discount grocery store is right near us, and we all shop together, our daughters and I, and we have a roundabout trip, and it's not taking any extra gas. Just another way that we are doing to save $5 or more than 5 ways. All right, let's see what happens when these vegetables are done, and we'll pack them up, and let's see how much it gave. Another way you can easily save $5 is put a lid on your kettles, on your cookware when you're cooking. Having an open kettle like that takes so much longer and so much more energy to get your stuff to boil. How many times do I put a kettle on the stove and don't have a lid on it, and it takes 3-4 times the time and energy and the fuel to make something cook? Always keep that kettle on. And better yet, if you have a wood-burning stove, you could put your kettles on there and have things boil really quickly. This is an off-grid propane stove. Now, we do not have the oven. The oven doesn't work, but we use the burners, and they are not on the grid. It is propane, and that saves us a lot of money. Now, propane can be expensive, but we only use this stove once in a while. We don't really use it a whole lot. The wintertime, we heat our things with the wood-burning stove, and in the summertime, I don't do a whole lot of cooking. I'm going to be doing a lot more cooking outdoors and using free firewood to can out there. But I am using it today just to get the water boiling really quickly and to show you how you can save a lot of energy by making sure you put a lid on your kettle. It's so simple and easy, but you'd be surprised how many people don't. Keeping your onions and your potatoes in bags like these save you tons of money. I got these bags years ago, and I only paid, I think, $3 for the set of them. But what do you do with that? Some people would say, oh, you need to throw it away. Actually, you use it. This is the life of the onion. Cut up the sprout and you use that. Food waste is the #1 way you can save money, and that is by not having any food waste. So we have this done, and we have 3 onions. We're going to cut these up. We're going to save what we can, and then I'm going to put them in the freezer. A freezer saves you tons of money. It does cost you electricity, but if you keep it full, you don't have to spend much on the electricity. The fuller your freezer, the less energy it takes to run it. So we're going to go ahead and cut up these onions, and then I am going to freeze them. You don't need to blanch onions or peppers. You can freeze them as is. But I would strongly recommend you blanch carrots, sweet potatoes, and potatoes. Blanching them keeps their beautiful color and also keeps them a lot better in the freezer. So let's go ahead and cut these up. If you really wanted to save money, you could save all of your onion skins and use that for broth. Makes amazing broth. Going to the Dollar Tree can save you tons of money because you can get your things like plastic bags for $1, $1.25. I'm just going to go ahead and put this in. This is going to be for soups and stews. Mostly this is going to be for oven roasted vegetables. So I do have them cut thicker because I can use them for large roasts and things like that. I try to take most of the air out. Now you can also vacuum seal, but we're just gonna do it this way for now. There you go, we have all these onions. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the freezer for some soup and stews to make lots of great broth. Just another way you can save $5 really quickly. And electricity and insurance are the highest things that cost money. Now, we don't have much electricity, so we don't have very high bills, but we do a lot of hard work to keep from using electricity. All right, let's go hang this up. And now we'll see what else that we can find that will save us money. Now, some of you would say, well, all of that stuff is common knowledge, but to some of the younger generation, it's not. Like, I don't wash any of my clothing in anything other than cold water. I don't use hot water for anything with my laundry. So that saves a lot of money. There are so many ways that you can save tons of money, but you have to have a lot of thought with it. In other words, you have to physically do a lot more. So the vegetables would be so much easier to just throw them in the trash can and let the trash collector take them away. But if you learn to compost things and you learn to freeze your things and can all of your food, you have very little food waste. In most countries, there are very little food waste. But here in America, especially in the Western countries, you just have so much food waste. So food waste is a big one. Cut down on your electricity is another big one. Do things that you would normally have to pay someone to do. So like my hair, I don't go to the hair salon. My husband cuts my hair. I get my makeup at the Dollar Tree. It's so much cheaper. All of these things I do to save money. In fact, when I'm not filming, I don't wear any makeup. And when I do film, I wear a little bit of blush and of course my pink lipstick. But there's always ways to think outside the box in order to save money. Saving money is an action. There's action behind it. You can't just say I'm going to save money and not put any action behind it, because it requires a lot of work on your part. The more money you save, usually the more work it is involved. But if you take little steps and decide to do little things in your life, they become huge savings. And in 1 year, you won't believe the difference that you have made on that pocketbook. So why are we doing all this? Why are we cutting up old vegetables? And why are we doing all this? What are we saving money for? For us, it's for retirement someday. Because what happens if something would happen to one of us? I need to have that nest egg. I need to have that retirement money, so I know that I can keep that lasting way beyond the couple years or the 10 years or 15 years. Senior citizens now are outliving their money, and so it is extremely important that the younger generation saves money, because it takes more and more and more as each year goes on. And the older generation are finding that their money is running out and they're still alive. And a lot of them have to go back to work. I don't want to be 80 years old and working if I don't have to be outside of the home. So I'm doing all these things now. They may be simple and easy, like making your own coffee instead of going to Starbucks. Do you know I've never been to a Starbucks? Our son brought us one time. I think he door-dashed Starbucks coffee and drinks, maybe once or twice. I've never been to a Starbucks. I've never been to a lot of places. People find that very fascinating. I've never been to a Bath and Body shop. Haven't been to the mall in 32 years. I just have not been to any of those places. And so now I'm going to be going ahead and pruning my own bushes. That way they give a lot more fruit. I got to prune my grapes. We have a little bit of a break in the weather today. It is 40 degrees. I'm pruning all of my grapes so I get more grapes next year. And it's just everyday life. So the important thing is this. It's an everyday life. It's every day you wake up and you consciously do things that you know it's going to save you money. Another thing I like to do is I take people's hand-me-downs. Hand-me-down clothing, hand-me-down kitchenwares. If my daughter's got food and they don't like it, they bought something at the grocery store, instead of throwing it away, they give it to me. I've had neighbors drop off bags of food that they went through the cupboards and they did not want to eat it because it was expired. I do all of these things. I live different and most of you live different than the average person because we want a different life, or maybe because we have to. I know for me, I have to save my money because I'm not getting any younger. All right, take care everyone, and we'll see you guys on the next one. I'll show you me working on the vegetables as I say goodbye. I'm really thankful for the sun and thankful that I am able to do all of these things. Every day, I pray to the Lord that He gives me the strength to be able to do all the things that I do as long as I can. And that's why it's so important for me every single day to wake up, to get my work done, to do all of my chores, to save all of my money that I can, because someday if I wake up and I can't do it, you know, what do you do then? There's always things that you can do to save money. No matter what handicapped or what age you are, there's things that you can do. Take a look at your life, take a look at all of your expenses, and see what can you cut out on. We don't have TV, we don't have cable, but we do have the internet. And so I watch old movies on the internet while I'm starting to learn to sew. All of these things can change you dramatically. Just cut back. You don't need all that extra fluff. Take care. We'll see you guys on the next one. One ad at the end of this video is, you know, if something is too good to be true, it probably is. As we get older, we are so bombarded with gimmicks, get-rich schemes, money to invest, and you're gonna have high yields with your money. Be very careful. Be cautionary. Make sure you have different sources of information, because one false move could destroy your life. So while we talk about saving money, it's most important too to talk about saving your money and making sure you don't throw your money away on wild gimmicks, promising you the world and taking everything that you own. As we get older, we have to be extremely diligent in our money and know where it's at and keep it in a safe place. Take care, everyone.